Hi, it's Tom with RallyCheckForYou.com. Welcome to today's video, the third part of a 6-part series on toxic behaviors and how you can avoid them. This video addresses the toxic behavior of treating yourself like a victim. This particular toxic behavior involves thinking ourselves as victims that have little or no control over our lives. In this mindset, we feel sorry for ourselves. The world seems to be against us and we get stuck. Little or no action is taken on our parts because we get lost in a mentality of helplessness and self-pity. Look, we've all been there after a bad breakup, losing our jobs, or feeling just stuck in a terrible career or stagnant relationship. Why would we do this to ourselves? Why would we willingly play the victim? Because at first it provides a way for people to sympathize with us and validate our feelings of being mistreated. Secondly, because adopting the victim roles allow us to avoid taking responsibility for our lives. It allows us to avoid making the hard choices we sometimes need to make to take charge of our lives. Now, please understand that we've all been truly victims in our lives. Victims of abuse, victims of violence, victims of injustice. I'm not trying to minimize the pain and suffering that we experience from these awful events. The last thing we want to do is to blame the victim for their own mistreatment. What we are talking about is taking the opportunities that present themselves to move away from feeling sorry for ourselves, no matter how justified we may be in feeling mistreated. We can start building our inner strength, a stability within, a sort of inner spring that fuels your life with positive emotions no matter what other people say or do around you. Stopping the negative self-talk that thwarts our intentions for change is so important in moving into the life that we want for ourselves. We want to clearly address the negative self-talk that tells us all of the reasons we're stuck and can't change. We need to look at what we're telling ourselves and examine the truth of the matter. We need to look at what we have been thinking of as insurmountable obstacles and really examine how we can take steps to break through or simply move around them. The story of Malala is a truly inspiring story of what it means to not live out the victim role. If you don't know the story, Malala was a 15-year-old girl at the time when she was heading for school in a Taliban-controlled area of Pakistan. The Taliban had decreed that women weren't allowed to attend school, and so they attacked the school bus she was on. They shot her in the face and left her for dead. Fortunately for the world, she survived, but for the next 5 years, she suffered through treatments and surgeries for her terrible wounds. Now, if Malala had never left her house again and lived in a constant state of fear, who could blame her? She was a victim on so many levels it makes her heart break. She went on, of course, to being a world-renowned advocate for women's rights and education. She opened a school for women when she was just 18 years old, and in 2014, she became the youngest person to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize. This is a story that has helped literally millions of young women in the world to feel empowered about their place in their respective societies. Now, look, we don't need the strength and courage of Malala to change our lives for the better. We just need to address what's right in front of us and look for the steps we need to take to change our circumstances for the better. The next video will address the toxic behavior of lacking empathy. Thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and click that little bell so I can continue to make these for you. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.